I'm here with Sean Jones of the South Green Rebels, and Coach, we know the season's over. We're going to do one last interview here, talk about the off season and your big news of moving to a different conference. I want you to explain the process of your move into the different league first of all.
Well, every 4 years TWSAA readjusts the numbers based on what's going to be single A, double A, and so on and so forth. And we dropped the last 4 years. We've been the smallest double A school in the state. I think we was at 535 when they reset the numbers 4 years ago, and this time we got down to 497, I think it was, and that dropped us down to 1A. And it's going to be a big deal really for us. And people want to know what kind of difference that can make. It's like 4 years ago. Greenville got in the classification they're in, and they didn't necessarily, people say play down. They didn't play down. They played what they're supposed to. So that's kind of what we're doing. Going to be playing single A. We're excited about it, but on the other hand, some people might say, well, you're expected now to go down there and win a bunch of games. Well, that may not necessarily be the case when you get people like Hampton and Clallan and teams like that. We do now feel like we compete in every single game. That's going to be one advantage. We're going in the off-season talking to our kids about winning the conference championship next year, just right off the bat, going to a new conference with everybody back. So we're excited about that and the process we're going through. It looks like there's only going to be one single A district in East Tennessee. Looks like our conference will be set up pretty much with Clallan, Hampton, Unaka, of course South Green, North Green, Hancock County, and Cosby. So very, very competitive for us. It's just one of those things where the last 4 years, we come in and we feel like we compete, but there's some games we pretty much knew we weren't going to be able to compete in, or we would have to play well, or another team have some people hurt and all that good stuff. But now we feel like every single game we're going to go into, we'll have a chance to win, as long as we play well and have a good off season. And that's where it starts. It starts with off season.
Sure. And let's talk about the off season a little bit. Maybe what kids do you think? I know you had a young team. They're going through the maturation process of getting older and learning the system and all that thing, and all those type things. Which kids do you see could benefit most from a productive off season, working hard and things like that?
Well, first of all, before we even lift the first weight or do the first thing trying to get quicker, we've got to find leaders. That's the whole thing what it's all about. And when we say leaders around here, we don't mean people go in there and do a lot of talking. We need some people that will lead by example. And we hadn't had that in the last few years, and that's been one of our problems. We've got a bunch of talkers. And so we got to find some people go out there and lead by example. Once we do that, and then they can show the younger kids and everybody what it means to work hard. And we've just got to get a whole lot stronger and a whole lot quicker in the off-season. And one thing of our disadvantage around here is, in the season we don't do a lot of working out. We're going to change that next year. We're going to, start doing some different things next year. And, already here, day 4 after the season ends, I've already started thinking about what we could do better for next year because, we didn't live up to our expectations this year on the field. And as a coach, a head coach, we've got to do some different things too as a coach staff and live up to some expectations and get better all the way around. Because like I say, people was going to expect more out of us now being in a different conference, and we expect more out of ourselves. So it starts with in the weight room with leadership and get in there and working hard and not goofing off and doing goofy stuff in there. And then once we get to the spring, have a good spring practice, and then working out in the summer and getting ready for next year because we lose 3 guys. And, you always expect at the end of the year everybody's going to come back and finish the year. So if everybody does, we've got 36 kids right off the bat before we even have freshmen coming here. And that'd be big for us as far as numbers go. So, and that means there's a lot of experience out on the field. And, although we had a young team, we maybe didn't improve as much through the years, what I didn't like. You look at West Green, it looked like they were young too, about as young as we were. But they got better. They won 4 out of the last 5. We won 1 game. So, all the way around, from head coach all the way down, we got to make some decisions and different things. Whether it's moving people around or whatever we got to do to get better, and it's going to start at the top, and we'll make our way down.
Sure. And one last question, Coach. You had 2 quarterbacks that were productive with Hunter and Justin. Is that going to be an open competition throughout the summer and spring, or are you guys close to making a decision on that starting in the next year?
Well, there ain't no decision. It's open.
It's open.
It's open. We go into there at the end of the year saying Justin's going to be our quarterback, and then, to me, I don't know what Coach Hansel thinks, but, if both of them develop, it's great to have 2 guys. One goes down or something happens, you can throw another one in there as a snap. We're going to try to get both of them in some camps next summer as far as a quarterback, and I know both kids do not really care who the quarterback is. They're going to play, and both of them's going to be on the field. So that's another advantage. You know, sometimes you go in that situation where one kid or both kids, I want to be the quarterback and that's it. But these kids are team players in that aspect. So, you know, it was kind of crazy. One week we thought maybe it was going to be Justin for the rest of his career here. The next week, well, there comes Hunter back. So, you know, we're going to go in the offseason leaving it open. But, you know, if we had to start right now, we'd probably say Justin will be our quarterback because, you know, Hunter's such a good receiver. But you saw what he did up here Friday night when Hunter, you know, and that was one thing about it. And the only change you make, you move one to receiver, another to quarterback, because they're just interchangeable. And you know, Hunter played well catching the ball up at Claiborne, and then he comes in here the night, throws the ball well, he throws to Justin for one of his touchdowns. So, you know, it's one of those things where both of them are really athletic. It's just going to be whoever steps up, you know, and we're going to go in the offseason as it being open. And like I say, you know, whoever steps up with the quarterback, you know, that's the way it's going to be, and we're going to go with it. So, but we just got to get better all the way around. Although our offensive line was young, it didn't feel like we improved like I wanted to throughout the year. So we're going to work hard on that this offseason, getting those offensive linemen stronger and better. And of course, defense just eat us up. And defense has been a problem around here for years. And I know what people think. Oh, it's Coach Jones and what we do scheme wise. But it's just when you got kids playing both ways. Lots of times, a kid can be a great offensive player, but not the best defensive player. So we're going to work real hard in the offseason on the defensive side of the ball. And you know, it's kind of look like the Dallas Cowboys, where everybody were having career games against, or excuse me, the Tennessee Vols, where everybody's having career games against the defense, and that's what happened to us. You know, Malone having 7 touchdowns and all that good stuff, and it's going on for a few years here. So don't know what the answer is, but we're going to be searching right off the bat here and trying to find answers there, whether it's switching to a different defense or what we got to do. But we're going to do what we need to get back on track and go in the off season with the attitude that we're going to win a conference championship next year.
Great. Thanks for all the help this year, Coach. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.